I want to talk about the economy. They just lowered rates again with a record high stock market. What could go? First of all, thanks for being on. And what could go wrong?
Well, look, we were projecting a recession for the second half of 23. The government went on and the Harris administration went on a government spending spree that got the economy to have a little bit more life, but we never got into expansion territory according to our numbers, and we started rolling over again in April. And the Federal Reserve stopped a bank panic with the bank funding term program. If you recall, there were big bank failures in March, and things looked scary, but they managed to paper it over. The real economy, however, is in the tank. And there was an interesting statistic I saw before the election. Real weekly average wage growth is -2% going into the election. It's also interesting to note that same number occurred -2% in 1980 when Ronald Reagan won a landslide, and also in 1992 when Bill Clinton won a landslide. And you'll notice in those two time periods we had official recessions. This time we don't. And I want to say that I've never seen such blatant manipulation of government statistics, unprecedented spending, and government hiring to paper over what is truly a bad economy for the average man. So Trump, when I was asked in the week or two prior to the election, I was asked, who do you think is going to win? I said, Trump has already won according to this economic statistic, which, that's why he won. I mean, Bobby Kennedy helped, and Elon Musk and Joe Rogan and lots of people switching and the Dream Team and what have you. But what really got Trump in was the economy, the real economy, not the stock market, not the everything's hunky dory pablum you're getting from the mainstream media. The real economy has been rolling over, and we're just waiting for the financial markets to figure this out. They will, and when they do, unfortunately, Trump's going to inherit a turd of a financial market crisis, and the government statistics will be updated, and we'll probably show we started a recession sometime this year.
You are early again. Here you're saying the economy is going to blow up, and we're at record high stock markets. Record high S&P, record high NASDAQ, record high Dow, record high Russell. Everything's record high. And you're saying that this is that Trump's going to get hammered with a terrible economy.
It's already terrible, but it's going to become more apparent pretty soon. We have some interesting indicators that we haven't made available to the public because we're probably going to charge for them. But what I can tell you is they're slammed to extremes we've never seen before, and they have nowhere to go but the other direction, which indicates increased volatility and credit spreads widening at some point quite dramatically. And that is something that hasn't happened yet. Historically, it should have already happened, but it hasn't. We've had fake non-farm payroll numbers. We've had GDP numbers that don't make any sense compared to what we're seeing in the economic indicators. And this is all going to come to light fairly soon. And I think, unfortunately, this rally after Trump is not going to be as fortuitous as people think. I think it might be an ending blow off top. But we'll know soon. My friends on Wall Street seem to think that everything's hunky-dory until at least year-end, that everyone's going to chase performance till year-end, and then we have to start worrying about things in January. Well, when everyone's of the same opinion, I put the clock on between Monday and sometime in March, but this could start to unravel anytime between now and then. I know I sound like a broken record, but we've never seen such unprecedented fraud and manipulation in government statistics. And I want to take you through an analogy. The central bank cycle has a fraud element to it. When you create easy money and whatnot, usually there's an ending element that results in fraud. In the 90s, it was corporate fraud, and that blew up. Enron, WorldCom, Lucent, all sorts of accounting fraud. There was a party, and when the punch bowl was taken away, as the Fed always does by raising interest rates, it eventually collapsed. Then we had lowering of interest rates, unprecedented monetary easing that then created a real estate bubble. That ended up in bank fraud. Then we had the great financial crisis, and we solved that crisis with more debt. The decision was made not to take care of the debt problem. The decision was to solve the debt problem with more debt. And then we saw central banks and governments collude to basically keep interest rates flat for 14 years, and we saw an expansion of government and central banking power. And now we're at the point where the numbers are being cooked at the government statistical level, I believe, and we've already seen some of that evidence come to light when they revised non-farm payrolls down to 850,000 in August. I think once Trump gets in there and once the financial markets start to realize what's really going on, it's going to be horrendous. Now, the good news is Trump is in there, and his policies will be way better than the Biden administration. If Harris had won, I was really going to be gloom and doom. This is actually, there's going to be pain, but I think the pain can be mitigated somewhat.